Hello again, my friends. Alright, video number 2. Where did my pen go? There it is. Okay. This time we are doing, again, we're in, come on, we're in 14.3. And the one that we're about to do is number 7. Number 7, we've got a principal of 8,500. We've got a compound amount or maturity value of 13,403. And then pennies, how many pennies? 64. Number 7, right? Am I doing the right one? Yes, I am. Okay. Let's see, compounded quarterly for 5 3/4 years. Time is 5 3/4 a year. Compound quarterly. And this time, we're looking for the rate. What's the rate? Well, we start the same way we do all of these. We've got that same equation, thank goodness. And we need to, let's see, we need to find out what M is. M, number of compounding periods per year. We're doing it quarterly. That means M is 4. I, well, let's see. I is going to be the rate, which is what we're searching for, divided by M over 4. And we'll come back to that one at the end of this problem. And let's see, N. N is M times the number of years. And let's see, do we know that? Yes, we do. M is 4, and years are 5, and what was it, 3/4? Yes. I'll write it this way. Or N, the number of years is, let's see, 23. N, 23. Total number of compounding periods. Does that look right? 5 times 5 is 20. That'd be another 3. Yep, okay. So now I'm going to plug in and see what we've got. M, we got 13,403.64 equals our principal, 8,500, times the quantity 1 plus I raised to the n, and n is 23. Okay, we can do a little bit of simplifying. I'm going to divide both sides by 8,500 to begin. 8,500 over there. 8,500, of course, goes away on that other side. And we're left with 1 plus I to the 23rd. Now, this is new. I didn't go over this in class. This is the new part. So watch carefully. What I know is that if I take the 23rd root of this side, I will be left with 1 plus I. Taking the 23rd root undoes that this is raised to the 23rd power. Neat. But of course, if I take this side, the 23rd root, I have to do that over here. Same thing. I need to take the 23rd root of this big ugly number. How do I do that? Well, if you look at your calculator, I think we have a square root button. I'm moving to grab my calculator. Let's see. Yeah, we have a square root button. And some of them even have a cube root, a third root button. I have a calculator here. Let's see what it has. This is a TI-84 plus. Never had one in my life, but now I do. At least a virtual one. Let's see. There's where are the find buttons on this machine? Oh, there it is. There's square root. And I'm going to pause this for a minute and figure out my calculator. I'll be right back, folks. Gosh, can I even get this out of the way? How come you won't leave us? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing. There we go. It turns out that calculator was just too fancy for its own good. So I'm going to explain this to you. How do we get the 23rd root of that number? Well, I'm going to go down here. Our calculator, you should be able to find a button that looks like this. Y to the x. And that is going to allow you, well, we've used that one before when we raise anything to a power, so you're familiar with it. But what you don't know is that if we wanted to get the 23rd power of something, we could use this button if we can write y to the 1 over 23. Aha! So how do we get that in there? Well, it's pretty simple. We would just take 1 divided by 23 equals, and it'll, let's see, give us some number. 1 divided by 23.043 with some numbers. 0.043 with more. And then we hit no, I take it back. That's not how we do it. Here's your eraser dummy. What we do is we put in the number that we want to take a power of. Let's say we wanted to, let's get rid of all this junk here. Let's say we wanted to take the 5th root of 125. What we would do is put in 125, then we hit y to the x, and then we have to put in the exponent. And I would use parentheses at this time because I need to do 1/5. I know it's 0.2, but parentheses will allow me to put it in without order of operations potentially getting screwed up. And after I did that, I'd hit equal. And let's see, I'm going to try it on my calculator, 125, and then my y to the x button, and left parenthesis, 1 divided by 5 right parenthesis. 0.2 shows up, and I hit equal, and I end up with 2.63. Which means if you take that by itself 5 times, you get 125. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Is that right? Sure enough it is. Okay. So if I want to get the 23rd root of this, first I'm going to take and do the math inside and have that in my register. So I'm going to take 13403.64 divided by 8500, and that's equal to 1. Sorry about this, folks. 1.58. Actually, it's 1.57 with a whole bunch more digits. Okay, so I've got that in the register. Now I'm going to hit with 1.57. I'm going to hit the y to the x button, and then parens and 1 over 23 and equal. Let me try that now. Y to the x, parenthesis 1 divided by 23, other parenthesis, and equal, and I get 1.02 exactly. Actually, yeah, there's a bunch of 9s, but it rounds to 1.02. So that was the result of this side. So we really have 1.02 equals 1 plus I, or I is equal to, subtract 1 from each side, 0.0242%. Hey, that looks like our answer, doesn't it? Well, it does, but that is equal not to the rate, that's equal to I. In order to get the rate, we got to look back where we started here. Let's see. I is R over 4. So I is the rate divided by 4, which is equal to 2%. And now I'll kind of forget about that, and I'll say, okay, I got to multiply both sides by 4 to get rid of that 4. R is equal to 2% times 4. And the rate, there's our answer, is 8%. Checking my textbook number 7, sure enough, 8%. Okay, there we have it. This was the trick up here, folks. Let's see, this 23rd power, or we had this equation where we had a big fraction equaling 1 plus I to the 23rd, and we found if we took the square root of, or the 23rd root of each side, we could solve it. And then that's what we did. We just had to use this guy right here. In order to get the 23rd root, good old y to the x button, raise y to the 1/23rd is the same as taking the 23rd root, and that got us our answer. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. See you in class.